All right, guys, we're live. Welcome. Today is, I have to look at my beautiful phone to know what day it is. It's Sunday, April 23rd. Holy shit. Of 2023. Um, Welcome aboard. This crazy machine. It's been quite the week. I don't know about you guys, but I um, it's just been insane. It's literally just been insane. Um, it's been a lot of ups and downs. It's been a lot of bliss. It's been a lot of I can feel my hands and my feet, my head burning, to where my back hurts. To um, I can feel like the electrodes going through my body. Um, yeah, it's been
I have I
intense.
have pain in my elbow where there's no bruise or injury whatsoever, and I don't know what it is, but boy does it hurt.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like going through every little cell in our bodies. And my sleep has been, of course, really wickety wackety. I'm finding where I need to rest more often, just to not necessarily sleep, but just to rest. Um, I know I've been kind of not here, and there would be times when the boys are talking and I'm not here. It's like I'm, of course, physically here, but I'm not here, but I'm not in my head either. It's just I'm just this, I guess, neutral state of nothingness. It's kind of nice. I like it actually. Um, it's about thinking. My brain isn't going a million miles an hour. Um, I guess we get started on what happened from last week to this week. There's been a lot of phone issues where they have been testing alerts. And I saw a lot of posts from my friends over in the UK, and they were talking about how there's going to be all across the country, there's going to be a massive alert system brought out, just like it was, like I think it was a year or two ago here. And they just had one in Florida, and they sent out, this pulse where that went to alert the people of the UK and such like that, of like an emergency broadcast system test. Um, I know that a lot of them were concerned about this test because every time they send out a massive pulse, things seem to happen. So I know a lot of them are going to be watching. A lot of them turned off their phones. A lot of them said that when they turned off their phones, they went outside or they went somewhere else and came back. They turned off their phones, but their phones were on when they got back into the house. To Where one actually wrapped it in foil to protect it from the pulse that would be coming out of it. So we're just waiting to see. We're just waiting to see what comes out from this, because it's all frequency. Everyone's playing with this frequency,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, the
nobody
good and
knows.
the bad are playing with the frequencies. The problem, like if you want to think about ascension and stuff, where we're all raising our frequency and we're all starting to become one and getting more telepathic and stuff, and that's what's going down lately. But of course, the dark's going to step in with this frequency across the phone to try to knock us up out of there. So it's just a whole vicious cycle almost.
It is, and it's also I know from watching. Like I felt that pulse come out. The boys and I got sick a couple years ago. I remember just feeling it. I'm like, "Ooh, what the hell was that?" And then I watched it kill my sassy, so I wasn't happy about that. Get my picture on. And then I watched, certain waves come out, and my friend Maria, she was on the phone with me, and she goes, "Oh my God, I just felt this enormous pulse," and it was like all throughout New York City. Um, it was, and then right after that. So it is. It's they're playing with fire, and with all these, yeah, the higher frequencies coming in, um, they are wreaking havoc all over the place, and they know that, yeah, we are awakening. They know that we are onto them. We are showing, um, that we're growing in the light.
We had an earthquake today.
Yes, yes. So that's very interesting as well. So it's thanks Ben. So my technical advisor came through. Um, thank God for him sometimes. And Brady be lost. But yes, so tell us about your earthquake.
We were sitting in the living room chatting with a friend who was visiting, and all of a sudden we felt this rumble, and there was no truck going by. And she looked at me and she goes, "What is that?" And I said, "Earthquake." And you could feel it rumbling for like, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds. I don't know. And then a few minutes later, she had gotten on her cell phone and said, "Yep, we just had an earthquake." And she sent the article to me, which I sent to you.
No shit. Wow. It's amazing. But we also know
Where are
what's
you
up
at?
there. Yep.
I live in central New York. So I live smack dab in the center of the state of New York. And the earthquake happened up in Adams Center, which is up near the Canadian border. But it was felt as far east as St. Johnsville and as far west as Rochester. So if you open up the map of the state of New York, it's the entire central New York region felt the effects of it. Obviously, it wasn't um, a 3.6 here, but it was up there.
Okay. Because
I need to go do something. I can come back in a couple of minutes. Okay.
okay. All right, sweetie. So we were talking about earlier how it just resurfaced about the Finger Lakes and about the tunnel that runs from the Finger Lakes and the Great Lakes, all of Wisconsin, where the tunnels were, and that just came popping back up like on the Q um, chats and the Q channels, and that kind of information came out. So it's interesting how that was there, and then um, the earthquake happening today. Um, just just one of those quickie dinks. So I know I've been
Flood the tunnels again?
pardon?
You think they flooded the tunnels again to hide that?
Or they, yeah, or God only knows. God only knows. I know there's also Mother Earth who's raising frequencies like nobody's business too. So um, we're supposed to be getting a massive CME tonight, which is going to be very intense going from tonight until tomorrow. Um, of course, they say, each energy blast takes 3 days to integrate, and we're getting them 24/7, so we're constantly integrating. I know that I've been led to raise my frequency, and I've been listening to some really higher frequency music just to be in that, to bathe myself in that. But then I also am going to start my fruits and veggies only diet now from here on out, which I'm excited about that. I went into the store and got all my organics already, and um, because when I do eat other foods, I feel bogged down. Yeah, they taste awesome, but then my stomach and my body doesn't, just like what we talked about before. Just why'd you do that? So I've been I know it's big. It's going to be really really big the next month. So to lighten the load so we can really receive that white codes, the light in ourselves from this light that's coming in from and from within to keep grounding it because I know I'm just like a walking tuning fork because like I'm constantly buzzing and just vibrating all the time. Ben actually could feel it off me yesterday. He's like, "Whoa." And I said, "Yeah." I mean, there's been times where, yeah, it's just off the charts, and I can't. Like right now, I feel my feet. They're cold because of the energy, but yet, they're just like vibrating and almost feel like they're on fire, but they're cold at the same time. And that's how my hands are right now too, and my head.
I've been waiting for the last 3 hours for this podcast, and I am so friggin' antsy. I can just jump out of my skin.
Yeah, yeah.
The energies are just like, oh.
Yeah, it is.
It's bad, right?
It is. It's insane, and but it's also when we get together, we raise the frequency of ourselves because we're all like-minded, and we get to hang out for a little while and kind of talk about stuff. I know Michelle wanted to talk about. She was wanting to talk about the unity, the Trinity, and what false teachings there are compared to what is real and what we're experiencing, to what we did experience. So we'll wait till she gets back for that one. But
so she's on board with me with the Trinity thing.
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
keeps popping up.
We're all experiencing. I remember years ago seeing like the Trinity. It was like Trinity. I'm like, okay, and I keep like this. I have my little charm here. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's the Trinity. It has, but it's the Gaelic one. And I got that years ago too, because it was just such a calling. And then even Sasha, his New Earth Horizon design has been imprinted on my mind before he came out with it. Um, it's the Trinity sign, and I have it downstairs in my living room over the couch. It's been playing in my mind for at least a decade now. The Trinity, and it was exactly that, and it's I've had to go through different forms of it, different waves of it, different wordings of it. So yeah, we'll wait till she pops back on for that. So
Yeah.
um, our little dandelion talk the other day sprouted more dandelions, so thank you for that. Um, because of course what we talk about seems to recreate. So I have more dandelions to pick from now. Um, what are you choosing to use with your to work with your dandelions? I saw there's tinctures, there's like even pancakes you can make with it. There's all kinds of cookies. What have you decided to concoct?
I haven't harvested any yet. I was just upset that there was none, so I kept making more.
Yes.
Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Like they're not there, and they're going to be there.
They are going to be there.
I haven't used them yet.
Okay. Yes. So I know. I
feed them.
Yeah. Yeah, we made them. We spun them into our reality. So now what are we going to do with them? We're like, okay, well, here it is. What are you going to do with it? So I was thinking about making some tea, maybe taking some of the greens and putting them. Now, when I ate them in a salad, they were really bitter. So I'm thinking about throwing them in a smoothie with some fruit. It might make them a little bit easier to ingest. And
you can make dandelion jelly too. I just don't know the recipe.
Yeah, I saw that. And there's a honey. There's they make of course dandelion wine, but I don't partake in that. Yeah. But yeah, there's cookies I saw that you could make. So there's all kinds of different things that we could use for that. I also have the dead purple nettles here, and we were talking about that, and they just sprung up all over the place too. So when two or more are gathered, boom, we create. So that's why I love these. If we just sit and talk about stuff, we spin it. We're using the magic within to spell out our creation. So what do we want to see in our creation? I know I want to see health and abundance for people, um, to bring that forth to people. We talked about the healing centers and where they'll be needed in every part of PA. Um, I joined, and then once I said that, the group that I belong to said, well, hey, let's form a PA group because we're all in PA, and they're over in like Gettysburg, and I'm like, sure, and they're like, I was just talking about this not 2 minutes ago, and boom, it popped up on my phone. So it's just like, well, this is kind of cool. So we're starting to see the magic that we are. We're starting to realize the power of our words and our thoughts. It's a
But we're
magical time.
speaking our reality into existence.
Yes, yes, it's so magical that, okay, what do we want to talk about? Because when we talk about it, it happens. So
Mm.
we talked about the frequencies and how to be mindful of the other frequencies out there, but how we can raise our frequency. What can we, surround ourselves in the frequency that we want to be in, whether food and the water, and charging the water to our frequency and what will heal us. Because I know that even yesterday we got some food from a restaurant, and I just put my energy into it to clear out anything. Because we ask, of course, can we
Mhm.
have this? Can we have this? Can we have this? No. So we went through the whole list, and we were able to have spaghetti. And so we cleared it out, and just put our own energy into it, and we didn't get sick from it. So that was, woohoo! But it's it's using our own frequency and realizing the power of that and what we can do about that. It's every day is like we wake up to a new part of us being birthed, remembered. Like, oh my God, yeah, I know how to do that. Oh my God, yeah, I know what that's about, and trying to get Michelle back on here. Hold on. This is still.
Yeah, I get spiritual amnesia a lot. Sometimes, like, I forget certain things I do, and I think that happens on purpose. They're trying to keep us in check,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
So, like, I will do this amazing thing and then go about my day, and months later, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that did really happen, didn't it? And you're like, how did I forget that?
Get it all the time. I just don't have a clue. Hey Brady, can you get Michelle in because I can't?
Technical advisor.
Yeah, Brady or Ben? Oh, there we go. She got herself back
There
in.
she is.
All right.
Here I am.
There
Can
you
hear me?
are. Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. Things come up and it's like, oh my goodness, every day something else.
Well, they're always trying to pull us out. They're always because we're in here doing what we're doing, and
Right.
so they're always trying to pull us out. But before we start, I want to read something from our beautiful Antonio. So
Okay.
for the ones that don't know, Antonio is Q's son, and they have been that scenario for gazillion years. And so I want to quote some things that he put on his Telegram from Ron Amatron, who is a beautiful warrior of health and healing, and he came from the Creation Light ship, which is of course where we all kind of reside from. We all go up there to do our business. So here's some quotes. The light does not allow darkness into it. In the light, there's only one life in the now. Cords take away your energy. Don't give your spirit away. Stay in your heart center. Do not go outside yourself. If you're not in the now, you're not in the light. The light ship created you in a universe of light. The light beings created you and bring up a complete database of who you are and clear away these dark energies. You are recycling the past in your genetic programming. When somebody starts talking about you, that energy goes to you. Clear the dark side practitioner clearing, which I know I had to do that a lot. These are the same clearings Jesus did 2,000 years ago, done by the light ship and the light beings. This is where he came from. If everyone was in their heart, everything would turn around instantly. We could live in peace and harmony, like John Lennon's song, Give Peace a Chance. Every new moment in time is a new creation. Clear the darkness for manifestation to occur. This is true source energy which created the universe of light. These are the same healings Jesus did. Regain your true essence of who you are. Mind energy is the darkness. The mind mimics heart energy. Yes, it does. No one on this planet or anywhere else in the universe can clear your spirit except for the light ship. You are the light ship. Your spirit is very, very sacred. The light ship is here to help everyone. You do not need a belief system in God or religion. You are already connected to the divine. The mind is not created in the light. The mind does not work with heart energy. Blessings, Ron. And then he put down, who are we people? We are the one. Only if we let everything go, the lion in you will be heard. So,
So I have a question for you about that.
yeah.
This clearing, clear the dark side practitioner clearing, clear with the dark side practitioner clearing. That's one of the programs on the Creation Lightship page, right?
Yes, but you could do that yourself too because we're connected into we are that. So
Okay.
we know that. I mean, yeah, if you need assistance and you don't know how to do that, but I remember having to do that. When I would go to those shows, I had a lot of stuff being thrown my way. And then when I stepped away from a person who no longer was benefiting me and it was taking a weird turn, um, I decided to step away, and I had to constantly clear that energy for quite some time because I felt it keep coming back. And so it is. It's our words are powerful. Like we were talking about while you were gone, Michelle, how our words are so powerful. We were actually creating dandelions because of what we were talking about and things like that. Um, but like with the phones and with that dark light, we we know that that stuff is out there and that's very powerful as well because they've been spelling this out this whole time for millennia about the religions to governments to the pharmakia to all that other stuff. It's all witchcraft, and so being who we are in our own spiritual toolbox that we have forgotten, we just remember and pull that out, and the white ship's there to help remind us of that. to show that, oh yeah, hey, remember this? Oh yeah, that's right. It's kind of there as a guidance system, just like you is, just as Antonio, just like anybody is um, we're all here to remind each other of who we are too. Um, and when we gather like this and we put it out on YouTube and Facebook, some people are listening, which is awesome. you know, and it's showing us, there's other people out there that just need reminding of that, of who they are, and how
Well, I
magical
could
that is.
definitely I could definitely benefit from learning,
Remembering.
remembering, re-embodying all of these principles,
And
because I feel myself under attack a lot lately, and I think I'm doing the right thing, but I worry. I know I shouldn't worry, right? I get it. But I just feel like I would benefit from those clearings being taught to me in a simple, like the commands
mhm.
being taught to me in a simple way, because I'm I'm really needing to. It's been rough the past week or so. It's been really
Right,
rough.
right. So it's basically, we see it as, I wouldn't call it necessarily attack, even like when they come after and do stuff. It's just the dark knowing how to manipulate, right? Um, so I wouldn't necessarily call it an attack, because then we're giving it power that they're actually attacking. What they're just doing is co-opting, and we see how they're using other beautiful beings in our life, and they have less light in them, so they're more able to manipulate.
I've been feeling like I've been being leeched.
Yes, so
Oh,
there is that, and that's part of it. So there, when we feel that energy, we're like, oh, we're on to you. We know what you're doing. To say, oh, I need a protection, or oh, I need that. We're feeding right into it, and we're giving it energy, right? And so when we say, ooh, we know what you're doing, and I'm just going to bring more of me into me, and that's all you need to do, because back in the day, oh no, we have to protect ourselves. We have to have all these little crystals, and we have to have the pentagrams everywhere. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, trying to protect us. Woocha woocha wicka wicka wicka. No, we don't need that. We just need to bring more of our light into us, because situations are going to happen that are just going to reveal where everybody's at. And that's what it's showing you, is where everybody is at, and not to have a judgment on that. Because when we have a judgment on that, we're like, ooh, that person's doing some real shady shit. Or we could just say, oh, that person is scared shitless and is escaping. And they're doing some things that they're choosing to do, is escaping, because it's too intense to look at themselves. Because all we see is where people have met themselves on all different frequencies. That's all this is a frequency thing. And so when we
well,
say we have to protect ourselves, then we're we're baiting that energy, because then not only did they manipulate us through that individual, but then they courted us with it.
So that's
sometimes I.
the.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. That's all right, honey. Go ahead.
Sometimes I just like to do it like a verbal, or like a visual of calling your energy back to yourself, and like cutting a cord. Like you're not participating in that. I'm going to call all my energy and all my stuff back to myself. What do you get? Whatever you got to do, either to visualize it or to say it out loud,
Right.
so you can record.
I've also
And that's how I
like,
break free from all that.
I today had to do that because I felt some cord action, right? And I'm like, okay. All right. So I went into myself, right? And I was just laying on my bed, and I just imagined, and I felt all the chords where they're at. And you don't even have to do that. You could just go in and be within yourself and go, you call it like what Q said, I bring more of me into me now, all of me into me now. You do that. And then you send that look to your heart. And then you bring it out in your heart and it just expands and then you just feel it. And I have it not cutting because when you cut, it still bleeds out, right? And so you're actually
Yeah.
harming. So I just dissolve and I just send my love out to dissolve the cords that's part of me. If they are not in that love space, it doesn't return back to them and smack them. No, it dissolves into the great I am. So you're not even hurting them when it goes back because you say, oh, you gotta, put a mirror and peel, and you need to send it back to them and send their energy back and blah blah blah. No, you don't need to do that. It's just you. It's peaceful love, and then you just spread out your love, and then whatever how they take it, or we could dissolve it to the point where we just give it up to the great I am, and it goes back to source to be restructured and redone. I mean, that's basically what all these um, darker entities, they're just going to have to, some of them will go back to source and be, you know, absorbed
Well,
into the great I am.
yeah, this household has been balanced on a very sharp point this past couple weeks, and between what happened with Shadow and then just everything else, I'm just feeling really, I guess, out of control. Um, it's just it for me. It's been getting heavier and heavier and heavier, and it's like I'm trying so hard to find my way out.
Well, it's showing you stuff too. It's
That's what I was gonna
showing
say. What is it showing you?
it's
What are you
sh-
seeing?
it's showing you, yeah, what you need to take care of yourself because who's been taking care of everybody?
Of course.
Yes. So it's just showing you who needs to be taken care of right now. You,
Yeah.
you, and whatever that is going to end up looking like is what you're going to need to do. Because we could be in a pit of shit and still be fine because we're taking care of ourselves and we're but it's showing you. It's showing you like this frequency isn't you and why are you playing it and what are you doing to take care of yourself within that because you're getting so lost in what he's doing, what she's doing, what they're saying, you know, dogs to everything else is just mounting, right? And it's been mounting for quite some time. But what you have to step away from all that because that's all their shit, and you need to be within yourself. This is a perfect time to go within because yeah, you can have a circus around you of just craze. And if you are within yourself, like you said just what was it, about a month ago, you were saying, everybody's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Because you were in yourself. You allowed yourself to get pulled out into the drama that was going on. And they know exactly what they're doing. They know.
I think that when Shadow got hurt, that's
Yes.
when I got out.
Yes. Exactly. I was just going to say that
Because
because he's a
I was
baby,
just
beautiful baby.
I was completely traumatized by watching that happen, and now I keep having these awful visions of it happening again, and I don't want her to get hurt again. And
I know, honey. I know.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. You need to talk about this. This is a safe spot.
And then I've been fighting with my husband, which is something I never do, and it's not really fighting. It's just I'm so frustrated.
I know. I know. And it's just showing where people and situations in your life are trying to pull you out of you. Because when it was right before then, you were saying, I am just fine. And of course, they're going to use a dog. Why? Because it's our hearts on the outside of our bodies. We're looking right at it. It's beautiful babies of love, right? Innocent creatures. They don't care. They're going to use anything and anything to pull you out. They do that all the time. This is their last ditch effort to get the whoosh they need. And by golly, they're going to do it to all of us. So that's why even little, sweet little Jason Estes was talking about the other day. I just like popped on his last couple moments. How are we going to respond? How do we want to be the role models of how we respond to what the situations that are in front of us are? Are we going to feed into what people are choosing to do because they're escaping themselves? Or are we going to be the ones who just say, we know what you're doing, we see you, we love you, we're going to go with it ourselves? Because that's what's needed right now.
That's definitely what I'm seeing is the amping up of the drinking. Not the most jovial, happy-go-lucky feller when he's drinking. He's not mean. He's not cruel. He's not any of that. But it's just irritates. I've lived with alcoholism my entire freaking life, and I just don't want to do it.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a super
Same.
empath. You know, we're all coming from the same cut, you know, of what happened, you know, because we all feel it because we've all lived it. And they are super empaths, just like us, right? And so the narcissism part, the wounded aspect of them, chooses that avenue because it numbs it, because they are feeling everything around them is too much. It's too much, too much, too much, too much. And so to numb it, they have to find a way to numb it. And
That's what I told him.
and they have to hit that bottom. And luckily, it doesn't matter if you stay or you leave because, you know, it's I found that out the hard way too. That they will have to be the one that wants that change. Because you can put 1,000 ultimatums that we've all done, all of us in the past, because, well, our love, will save the day.
I'm not giving him any ultimatums. I'm just
No.
telling him
I'm saying
why.
before
Okay.
we all did that, because we know that it doesn't work, and so they
No.
have to come to that realization, like shit, you know, because when we say you're escaping, you're running away from your feelings, and you know, all they hear is you know, because
Right.
we're the harping mother, because that's who they married, because we're all codependent, and we all married our mothers and fathers. And so this whole codependency is rearing its head now in all of our relationships. We're like, whoa. We all married our parents. Yay. And because it was comfortable. It was comfortable. It was magical. We're like, oh my gosh, we have such a connection. Well, yeah, it's a trauma bond. And it makes it all dressed up pretty, like a pretty looking trauma bond. And we're all trauma bonded to each other because we've all been through it. And now we're healing, but not everybody at a certain pace. So that's why all the strife is there. Is because we're all at different paces. We're all at different frequencies. And we want everything either, you know, hurry up and catch up to me, which is not going to happen, or are you what can you live with what's going
That's what I
on?
don't know anymore.
And that's what you gotta say is like, well, or just live your life, and you being you and being the role model of you is showing him, hey, this is something she's doing, because he does try that, but then he gets
Yes.
scared and hops off. And I have a lot of
Yes.
people that in my life that does the same thing. Um, Ooh, yeah, that's that feels awesome. That means then they get it's like it's a scared kind of I want to say a coping mechanism where then they just totally drop everything, all the progress that they've made within themselves, and turn right back around and run back because it's comfortable. Because they have to go past that threshold on the other side, just on the other side of that wall that they put up. And they're so scared of that wall. They're so scared because they know all this back here, but they don't know what's on the other side. And so they go back to the comfortable part of it all. Because I know I've done it.
Yeah, it's easier to hide and self-medicate it than it is to do the hard work
My
and
gosh,
look in that
yes.
mirror.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. But we're all finally saying, you know what, we can't hide from this anymore. It's too loud. It's too loud. Like I had to pay my traffic ticket.
You paid it?
I paid it, and I didn't want to. I wanted to say, fuck you, I'm not going to do it. I know my common law, which I forgot when you pulled me over, but here it is. But you know what? Like, you know what? I probably didn't stop because I know that I do rolling stops all the time. So, yeah. Even though that's part of the old system. But did I want to run away from it? Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. I didn't pay it all week. I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then I came up, shit. I need to pay that damn thing.
Yeah, but then how isn't that not withdrawing our energy from systems that no longer serve us?
But then yet we have to still play in the system.
Yeah, I
So
know.
we can say,
That's the conundrum that we're all in.
so then we have to say,
Mhm.
okay, how and where do I am I thankful that it wasn't $500? Yes. Am I
Oh,
am I thankful it wasn't that? Yes, because it could have been. Probably. I don't know. But also, okay, what can I do? Because I was stuck with this. Okay, what can I do to take my power back in other parts of me? Oh, I could do my juice, my fruits and veggies thing. So I focused on that. Okay, that's one part that I can control. Not control, but that I can put my energy into and feel how good it feels. And know that this is sitting out here, that this is what's trying to keep me in the 3D system. Just like paying rent, just like the electric bill, just like all the other stuff that we know could go away like that if we all wake up from it. But
but
what?
you weren't willing to die on that hill, so that's why
No,
you paid the bill.
right,
Because that's not, you don't want to keep that focusing and pulling you away.
right,
Just pay it and get it away from you, even though you have to be part of that system. But if you like make that the hill you're going to die on, then that's all you're going to be focused on. You want to be focusing more towards what's good for you,
right,
correct?
right, right. And so that's where I'm like, okay, because I know Sasha talks about, well, you're paid coin to Caesar, but there's other ways that I don't pay coin to Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, like, okay, today I'm going to take this little part of myself back and that little part of myself back. And today I'll go, oh, we'll take this little part of myself back. And there's going to be times where, um, like, things I can't control. Like, there'll be things like that I know, but how do I look upon it? Like, fuck, you goddamn asshole. Or I can be like, oh, all right, yeah, I know. I I don't stop fully at stop signs. I know I don't. And so I'm like, well, that is also, mandates. That is also this,
Mm-hmm.
that is also that. But Just like with anything in life, okay, like you said, am I willing to die on the hill for that? Or am I here for something so much bigger?
It's kind of like pick your battles.
Yeah, am I here for if I'm in jail for this stupid citation, how am I going to have a healing center if I'm sitting in jail because I don't pay this? Or, if I don't pay my rent, how am I going to take care of my kids if I'm on the street? And it's like they get you, but how we play in the matrix, because we can't escape it. How we play in it, just like all the players in our world, from husbands to mothers to sisters to kids to everybody else, how we play in the matrix. All right, okay, we see it's a game, but how do we play in it? How do we show up in it? By being, I was kind and nice to the kid that pulled me over. To I was kind and nice to the person in the grocery store. How are you going to show up in the matrix? Because guess what? We're not gonna like bibbity bobbity boo out of this place right now, because we gotta figure out, all right, how are we going to play in the matrix? Yeah, I know Sasha, he's making his own place, but he's still playing in the matrix right now. We're all playing in the matrix. How are we going to bring the truest part of ourselves into the matrix? Like, all right, we know the people in our lives are really dealing with some major shit right now. So did we. Okay, we can have some compassion for that. Why? Because we went through that shit too, and we were scared to see that. We were scared to see ourselves like, ooh, that was some ugly ass stuff. That was some ugly ass stuff. And to have the compassion that this calls for, doesn't mean that you need to put up with any kind of abuse. Hell no. If there's any kind of abuse, hell to the no. But if there's no abuse, even if there's emotional abuse, any kind of abuse, period, there's no reason for that at all, period. And that's when you need to get the hell out of Dodge. But there's no abuse, and you just see it as coping mechanisms and how everybody deals with things. Because mine was back. I remember back in the day, mine was shopping. Like, I would take the kids, and we would always get something. A beautiful Target was notorious for picking up little things, right? And so you pick up one thing of like sea salt, and then you would have a whole cart full of shit. And it was notorious for that. And I was a beacon for a Target. Target made a mint out of me, because I would feel guilty for my kids being in a situation that I couldn't control at the time, because I didn't see a way out. So what did I do? Okay, let's go get a game. Oh, let's go get this, or let's go do this, or let's get this beach stuff, or this ball, or sports stuff. Anyway, to get ourselves out of the house, or to keep ourselves so occupied that we weren't home, because I didn't know how to handle it. And so did I?
Oh, you're all right.
Pardon?
Sorry.
No,
I'm
but,
sorry. Shadow was
oh.
whining, and I just told her she was all right.
But it is. I mean, the same thing. I mean, so I can put myself in people's shoes, because I didn't know how to handle it either. And so all I did was what I knew how to do, was shop, or escape by doing that. I remember that, through my grandparents. Like, anytime, I remember my grandma. We were sitting at the kitchen table. I mean, he was an alcoholic. She would reach into his big, huge coat pocket and pull out a just handfuls of change, and put it on the table, and says, "Here, boom, boom, boom." She'd give my boyfriend at the time, at the money. Here, go to the store, go get yourself something. So I learned it. Beautiful woman. Oh my gosh, I was a carbon copy of her. But that's where I learned it. You know, and burying my head in the sand. I learned it from my parents. Like, oh no, just don't look at it. It make everything look nice and pretty. Oh, no, this isn't happening at all. Oh, look at the pretty, pretty, pretty picture. We're a happy family. I learned that. So we all learn our coping mechanisms, and so it's saying that you have to go like on that checklist. Okay, yeah, this may not be ideal right now, but is it abuse? If it's abuse, then that has to stop. That's where you put your foot down. Because from speaking from experience with that, the more you let it on, the more you'll let happen. But if it's not, and you see it as he's freaking scared, and how much can I put up with if it is an abuse? I mean, that's where you have to really seriously look at it. Like all the people in our lives. Like with my sister, she can't handle talking about any of this stuff, and so she shut me out. Boom, close the door, zingo. And I had to say, okay, I see where she's at. I still love her, but I see where she's at. She's scared. She's scared. And all this, the Trumpy talk to everything. She's scared. You're like, oh my God, why is she talking about this? This is taking me out of my comfort zone. It is scaring me to pieces. And I'm watching someone in my life that used drinking as an escape and now is really having a hard time because he's not doing it anymore. And now his vice isn't there. And he's going to face these energies on himself. And he's escaping by doing other things. And, closing the door on the heart because the heart is trying to open and you can see it. Like yesterday, we saw it was just a lock and key. And, there's other people that I see too that, um, come in and they're like, I love you and thank you and this is beautiful and I'm connecting with my heart and soul, but then boom, scary, holy shit, she sees me for everything that I am, and they get scared and they go hide, and we bring that out in people because because we've been there and we see every soul for what it is. We see the light, but we also see all the trauma that they bring because that's who we are. We're empaths. We're trained to do that because we had to. It was like a military training for us to stay alive. We had to know and feel and read a person within seconds because it was our survival mechanism. Like, oh, how am I going to avoid somebody yelling at me or tweaking off or this or that? So it was when we were little. So it was a survival instinct that we had to teach ourselves how to read people and how to be able to dodge that kind of stuff. And that scares people because other people chose either went that way or the other people chose to shut their hearts down completely because it's too scary. So
I
that's where
hate to do this, ladies, but I have to go.
Okay. We love you.
I love you. All right, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Chrissy, we're like big giant mirrors reflecting back to them.
Yeah.
And I've actually had one boyfriend tell me that, and I was like, he was wanting me to change. He's like, but tell you the truth, you're like a mirror, and it just scares me. And I'm like, there it is. He actually realized it. But most of them will just run the other way or shut down, like you say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And that's what's going on out
It's a
there.
curse, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. And it's just like but we understand why they run because they're not ready to see or to look at themselves in it because they go, well, you can see me. Shit. I don't want to hear what I am. I don't want to see what I am. But then it's like, no, you're love. You're this beautiful light. You're this powerful being. But they're afraid that we're gonna to throw up how they feel about themselves onto, we're going to do that to them. But we've learned that we can't do that, um, because then that shuts them down, you know? And so we can be truthful, of course, but to a point where we have to be compassionate as too. Compassionate. But since she had to go, did you want to talk about the Trinity? I think that that healing had to happen. Um,
Right.
that had to happen. So, you want to talk about it real quick, or you want to save it till
Well,
next week, or?
I just real quick, like a little bit about the Trinity. When I first come across it in the church, it's the Father, God, and Holy Spirit. And people always say they're one. It's not necessarily that they're one, they're individual um, personalities, deities, or whatever you want to call it, but they have one goal. They're one in source. And so when you talk about the Trinity, whether you're talking about that or you're talking about mind, body, spirit, you're talking about um, the one source and all of us in the universe, and we're all divided up into individual people. But that's what it's basically what's coming online now is we're all realizing more that we are one, even though we're in our own little bodies, and we're in the connection is going to get stronger, like the telepathy and all that other stuff. And that's what's pretty much, I just kind of wanted to hit on that. That's what's coming online more and more. And people that are awake, even though if they're not at different levels, they're going to all jump up and feel and get more into that space where we're all one and communicating more as one.
Right. I look forward
Have you
to that
seen things
day.
like that in your?
I have.
Yeah, I think it's. Mm-hmm.
I have personal relationships, of course, and with nature. Um, also, the feminine and the masculine within, and spirit as well. To We're all aspects. We're all called individual silos of light from the main source of light, experiencing, um, always experiencing. So, there's so many different ways to say it. There's so many different, everybody's got their own interpretation of it. And so I
Mm-hmm.
try to, back in the day, it was Trinity this, and it was always that sign. But then I took that sign, um, and the words and kind of just dissolved it and just felt it instead, right? And when I
Right.
felt it, it's something where it took all the old, um, kind of like manipulation parts with it, all of that just dissolved to where you feel it. Feel all these different aspects of yourself are all one. It's all oneness. But then how we are so amazingly blessed to experience it all of the separate nowness of it all, but yet it all goes back to the oneness too, where you know you're my friend, you resonate, with me at the same time, but I'm looking at another me, to I'm looking at source through my eyes to you, but also seeing the source in you, to where it keeps growing. And I see
Mm-hmm.
that with my kids. I see that, with Michelle and Brenda, and
Hey, that's me.
that is you. And I see it more and more. And then the personalities that come out, and all the little issues that we're all, experiencing right now. It's just like all these little situations. But how are we gonna see it? Is not necessarily a wording. It's just remembering what we're not. Because I used to say, oh, we're obviously learning something from this experience. No, we're experiencing something that we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And when you taken.
We already know. We're
Yeah.
just here to experience it.
Like, oh yeah. They tried to make us forget. Huh. And now we're remembering. Huh. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And remember, just like, with this ticket. Okay, I remember who I am. I am a goddess paying a ticket because I didn't stop fully at a stop sign. Alright, alright, alright. And you're remembering who you are, you remember the common law, you remember all this other stuff, and then you have to laugh because you're like, am I really to go to jail for that or be killed, shot in a car? Because that's what they're doing now too, for people standing up. Because the Gestapo is so intense right now, the police state, that they're just going under orders. And but a lot of them are starting to see different aspects of themselves and are waking up, especially the people in France, where things are really intense. And in the Netherlands and all these other places um, that are really having the upheavals compared to here. This is complacent with sea land. Um, but
That's just to stop us from escalating and becoming more in tune with everyone else. They're
right,
trying to pull, like what's happening with your friend. They're just trying to pull you up out of it, keep pulling you up out of it, so you were not going to ascend.
right, and so it is. We already know we are because we see it. We see it, and so there's no stopping it now. There's no stopping us now. Is because we see it, and ascension is just us remembering who we are, and the more that we go within ourselves and feel that feeling, that's where we are. We're already ascended. But we keep dropping down because of the situations. But if we just keep that neutral spot in those situations, because I allowed that to take me right out, and then I had to get myself back in.
But you see it, it's a lot faster.
Yeah, it's a lot faster. And every time it's a lot faster. And like yesterday, tensions were high with family members, and I just went up and hugged everybody. They said, "Come here, just give me hugs." And being in that neutral space. But that's what we need to keep doing, is practicing being in that neutral space, because that's who we really are. And we have to keep remembering that. And we are. Every moment we get a little bit closer to remembering, oh yeah, 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 yeah. This is who we are. Are we gonna let this get us out of our oneness of everything? No. We know what's going on. Just like people in our lives, they're just using them to get us to get out of our neutrality. And they'll use people that we love and care about.
Like me.
Yeah, he was driving me nuts, but it was because he was allowing his mind to go, and they were hacking him something fierce, and I had him do his commands, and boom, he got right back to him again. Didn't you? Yes. But it's going forward, and I think that we'll have to do another one probably midweek again, because the energies are amping up again, and there'll be tons more to talk about by then. and maybe we could do something then on Wednesday to help people just to relax within inside themselves. It's not like a meditation. It's just like how actually give examples how we do it.
Walk them through it.
Yeah.
Walk them through.
Yeah, and like practical ways of just being within and what that looks like. We could do some commands. We could do a relaxed kind of technique. We could do like music and frequency. I was listening to pan music today, and they're playing the hand pan, and I was like, boom, right within myself. And I wasn't sleeping or anything, but I was just in this deep state of just love and bliss, and I was crying, not like bawling, but just like little tears would well up because I just felt all this love of just myself and all that is, and how to, you know, to get to that part for people just to say, okay, well, how do I do that? How do I do that? People, they'll find out how simple it is. We all talk about
The
it.
sound frequency is the easiest way for me to get in
It's
there.
amazing, isn't it? It's
Sound,
amazing.
song, drum beat, tuning forks, singing
E-
bowls,
or
whatever that
or
that
even
vibration.
bees, birds. The birds were chirping. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
To be inside there, just talk about that and just have people experience that and to play it and to see what they feel, and what we feel afterwards, and um, we can describe, what it feels like, and what we do individually to get to that inside spot, that sweet spot of neutrality, that because you could have, yeah, everything coming at you. You just go, oh yeah, I see what's going on, and you just have that clear mind. You're like, yeah, I know. How am I going to respond to this? How am I going to be a role model to others and respond? How am I going to show the person coming at me to be in a neutral spot when they're attacking the crap out of you?
Most people think I'm nuts because when bad things happen, I laugh, or something
That was,
crazy happens, I
yeah,
laugh. And they look
and
at me like, "How
that's.
can you laugh?" I'm like, "Better than crying." Oh
I know.
no.
And then it was also there's something I think Brady showed me. It was a meme that said, when a woman starts to laugh, you know that they hit their crazy their crazy spot, and to look out because you've been warned, kind of thing. It's true. We're just like, yeah, you know, and but it's true. But it is. We've been on now for about an hour and 7 minutes now, and I will let you go. But yeah, I think maybe that for midweek, because it's just going to get more intense,
Okay.
and we can talk about how we do it. Because if we could, one or two people listen, and we maybe even go on a Facebook Live with it instead of this. I don't know how to do that, but I'll play with it.
Oh, that's very simple.
Oh,
Facebook is easier than this network.
okay. All right. I'm thinking about maybe doing that then because we can reach more people. You know.
Yeah.
And we just go, hey, we're just gonna chill and we're just gonna listen to some band music. Come join us. Or, I actually have a friend who does some singing bowls. Maybe, we all can just, she can just play it for us, or maybe she'll send me a track to listen to. Just like, hey, here's your midday calm down or your evening calm down. We all need to just relax and just be, and not say meditate like, oh, I'm going to guide you to the middle earth or to the great central sun, because then we're going outside of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
How to go within, because that's right, the sweet spot. Everything out there and down inner earth is all in here. It's all in our heart space because we remember it's there. The telos is in here. The great central sun is in here. The star beings are in here. Our Palladian, Arcturian, Andromedan families are in here. Everything is in here. We don't have to
As
go.
within, so without, and so
Yeah,
vice versa.
yeah. So
As
it's
above,
just,
so below. That's
it
the
just
same.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's all oneness.
right, we can listen to some Q stuff if we want, just to help people through this time, because this is it. This is the storm that they talked about. This is it. This is the shit storm where everything's going to be coming out, where people are going to be seeing their ugly stuff, and we need to be there for people and to reach as many people. So I think we'll do a Facebook Live.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, my dear.
All right. Thank you.
Have a beautiful night.
Talk to you later.
Thanks.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.